Been a while since I spoke to you, due to the fact that I've had to take leave on a Monday to fit in with the requirement from corporate, etc. So, and then obviously last weekend was a VE bank holiday. So it's good to speak to you. So first of all, pay. It's been, and the only words I can use, it's absolutely fucking abysmal that Balfour Beatty cannot get the pay right. I've spoken to Danny Buss this morning, and Danny Buss has got exactly the same issues on TGS, MPV, and HS1. So on that call, I had Chloe Tucknott on, and basically, as I've said to Chloe, who is the head of on-track maintenance overall, I'm starting to lose the will of the guys to work overtime, to go the extra mile, because since I believe the inception of this contract, moving over from Harsco to Balfour Beatty's, your pay has never been right, and obviously since I've been here, I've noticed near enough month on month, somebody hasn't been paid overtime at the right hours, or somebody's not had this, or somebody's been told they're going to get a pay rise, etc. So, but the end state is I've got a list coming to me from Howard and the team. So I believe all of you guys that haven't been paid correctly, I've contacted the right people. Send that over. We will be doing a pay run Monday. Okay. I need to get this list in on Monday morning, and this will be resolved. There is also going to be a meeting taking place between myself, Danny Buss, Ian Morgan, and Chloe. So Ian Morgan, for those of you that don't know, is the financial director for Rail and Plant, and we're going to be obviously speaking to him around this issue, because whatever is going on needs to be resolved. This should not be impacting you guys. Kevin Hogg, I understand, you know, your pay is absolutely been messed around. I've got a supervisor who's missing best part of £1,000. It's not acceptable. So please accept my apologies. I am on this. I wanted to try and get a pay run done today, but because of obviously going backwards and forwards with you guys that are working on nights, that wasn't possible. So I will have that list from Howard today. I will send that off tomorrow morning to the relevant people that already know that this is an issue. We'll get the pay run done, but I've also asked Stuart Murty to conduct a root cause analysis as to why this has gone on, and I've also ruffled a couple of feathers this morning because I've sent this to the director of the Newcastle Services Centre. So, and I haven't been exactly, you know, kind in the way that we've approached it. So it is, you know, the simple fact is they're messing my guys around, and it's not acceptable when I'm asking them to go above and beyond to service the contract. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys know we as a management team are on this. I have got no reason, I've got no understanding at this point in time as to why you've not been paid bank holidays, or, you know, you've received a letter to say you're having your annual increase that was late anyway and missed, and it should have been paid this month and it hasn't, or the fact that some of you guys haven't even received your pay statements that you should have received through the post. So something has gone wrong. I will get to the bottom of it, and I will come back to you on Monday. But I am asking, and we have been told by Chloe that pay run will be done on Monday. So if it's done on Monday, I would expect the money to hit your bank probably Tuesday. If anybody has got any dire financial implications of this pay run being late, go straight back to your relevant leads, so your ops managers or your engineer managers, etc. And then I'll get them to email me, and I will pick that up with Balfour Beatty to see if we can do anything over the weekend. But I very much doubt it. But I would push for that as well. Cab etiquette. You would have seen an email from me this week referenced the cab etiquette. So if I don't pronounce his name right, please, accept my apologies. So Ian Mahugo sent a close call in about a TQS who was a little bit cold outside and was refusing to leave the machine. He said he wanted to be on the machine. As per that email, guys, I just want to reiterate, nobody on this management team will ever question your right to invoke the 4 essential rules, the golden rules that we've got, which is stop, reassess. You reassess it and you ask them to leave, or the cab, because you've got a route conductor on board, etc. If they don't do that, you abandon that shift. It's as simple and it's as clear as that, and that is from Tracy Blakeney as well. And you will have my full backing 100%. Okay, those guidelines are set up, laid down, agreed to and signed off with the RMT, with Network Rail, with Balfour Beatty, Colas and all the other companies that are working on maintenance to make sure that we keep you as safe as possible. So you are the guys on the ground. I'm not there. You call it as you see fit. And if you need that reassurance, or if you're in a difficult situation where you're not sure what to do, please call control. They might not be able to advise you, but then call the level 2. All right. And if the level 2 can't advise you, the level 3 will. And if that's me on call, I will tell you to abandon it. It's as simple as that. If somebody is not following the guidelines that have been agreed and been implemented for your safety, we will abandon that shift. End of. And there will be no repercussions on you guys at all. Face masks, that came up as well from Ian and a couple of other guys. So the cab etiquette is now being re-looked at. It is being reworked with the health and safety side, and that should be out early next week. And as soon as that is out, it will obviously, I'll send it out to everybody and I will update everybody else on the call as well. So that is being dealt with by Adam Lucas, who is our sort of new health and safety partner that works with Dominica and the rest. So as soon as I've got that, guys, I will send that out. Richard Linwood is looking at a protective screen now that will divide the 2 seats at the front of the cab. So it's like a plastic sheet that will come down. It'll be thick, but it'll be slatted as well, so you guys can enter and exit. Looking at getting those trialed and on board. Rich, and I can see you're on. Have you got an update on that for the guys?
Yeah, I've measured up the framework and whatnot, which is the bit that takes the time. The actual screens I can get next day. So I'm just waiting for some quotes now to get the actual frame built to mount the screens on. So hopefully by the end of next week I'll have everything in place and we can go ahead. The week after, I'd like to think we could start fitting them.
Brilliant. That's great stuff. So that's another thing that we're doing there to try and alleviate any, or not alleviate, but implement something else that will reduce the risk. Scotland guys, I've just signed off today the new vehicles for you. Reference being in the right vehicles because of the remote areas you are now working in. So Jessica Palmer is dealing with that, but I've approved the new vehicles today. I also sent out on the Stoneblower communications some information about financial advice. That was put together by corporate to enable anybody who is worried, suffering, etc., to be able to seek advice or where to go for advice. I don't know. I don't really think it affects our guys because all of you are continuing to work. But if it is if it is applicable to you, then look at that. Seek the help that you need, and if you need any more information or guidance, then obviously come back to myself or your leads, and we'll try and point you in the right direction. It's Mental Health Week next week. Jessica Palmer with me yesterday. around that. So there is a document that's been sent out. What Balfour Beatty is running all the way through next week. So if you want to join, so your supervisor should send that out today or tomorrow. If you want to join some of the webinars and get involved with that, and understand how we can try and make ourselves, take ourselves out of the current situation and give ourselves a break mentally, then I think there's some really good stuff on there for you guys to look at. I'll be doing a couple of the things anyway. So there is a lot going on around mental health as well. There is an update that's going to be sent by me next week on a mixed call that we had yesterday, which is about where we are now, what we're looking at for the future, and where we see we are going as a business. So I'll share that next week. I want to do a sort of a little slide thing, so I might move this call to Teams, where I can then just share some screens with you to give you the same information cascade as what we're getting. So as a business, you understand that we are actually pretty solid. We didn't hit the numbers. We've rolled back the margin, or the margin that we promised to corporate this year. We've rolled that back. That's nothing to do with Stoneblower. That's more on the TGS side. Stoneblower does have some challenges this year that we've got to get over, as we know, especially around the abatement. There are some decent arguments now being put together and finalised for how we tackle Network Rail around that, around non-maintained, non-serviced and obsolete parts. And I will keep you all updated, because I know you are all sort of giving your all to the job, but sometimes things are outside of our control. So again, I'll give you an update next week. So that's my main brief to you guys for tonight. Is there any questions around pay? I probably suspect there will be. Cav etiquette, face mask that anybody wants to ask? No, I'm shocked. Right. Okay. Well, look, pay is my biggest concern as of this morning. Well, yesterday really, when I understood from Daryl that there was issues. Make sure that you have touched base with your line managers today. I want to get that pay run done on Monday, so it is in your bank. So please make sure, if you are short, if you've not been paid what you are due, if you're missing hours, if you've not got your pay statement, make sure that you've logged it with them, and then I'll get that list and I'll get it all actioned on Monday morning. Okay, guys, if there's nothing else, if nobody's got anything, then I'll call it a day. Thank you very much for your efforts. And if you're off this weekend, have a nice weekend. If you're working, stay safe, and I shall speak to you all on Monday.